Hi and welcome to Gamers Web. Today we're going to look at the Judge Dredd miniature for the Judge Dredd Miniatures Game from our good friends at Warlord Games. This is a brand new product. It's only just out and was released on the 30th of November this year. And so we're going to delve in and have a look at the big man himself. Okay, so on the front cover we have some amazing artwork of Judge Dredd, and this contains two highly detailed miniatures. We have Dredd on his Lawmaster, and we have Dredd on foot. And the box contents contains two Warlord resin Judge Dredd miniatures, one Warlord resin Lawmaster bike, which is not easy to say, two character cards, one Armory Card electronic override, and one big Meg card drop hit. Okay, so the blurb goes: for millions of Megacity 1 citizens, there could be no greater symbol of the law than that of Judge Dredd. Not even the Statue of Judgment itself. The mere mention of his name is enough to give even the most hardened criminals pause. Dredd has been appointed a temporary member of the Council of Five on several occasions. However, he is only truly content when patrolling the streets, dispensing the law directly, and his well-known dislike of bureaucracy keeps him well away from the Hall of Justice. If it's true that a man can be measured by the quality of his enemies, then Dredd will take some beating. Over the years, he has clashed with Mad Chief Judges, transdimensional denizens of Dead World, super agents of Sov Block, necromancers, and powerful mutant precogs. Yet, it's probably safe to say that, from Dredd's perspective, bringing one of these individuals to justice is no more important than the prosecution of a citizen for littering or a Jew for spraying graffiti on a wall. Everyone is equal in the eyes of the law. Okay, so let's crack in. Right, Judge Dredd. If you're new to the channel and you're new to Judge Dredd, you probably may have only been exposed to Judge Dredd via the 1995 Sylvester Stallone movie or the 2012 Carl Urban movie. Dredd's been around for a good long while, first appearing in Prog 2 of 2000 AD, way back in the 70s, and as such has become a bit of an iconic character, and probably the most famous British comic book character. Okay, so empty box, and inside the box, apart from the separator, we get our blister pack, which as if I can get into it, which is always the hard part with these blister packs. We have our cards for Judge Dredd. We have a little flyer from the guys at Warlord Games, which basically just gives you the details, and then we have got Dredd himself and his Lawmaster. Okay, so and the base for the Dredd figure. Okay, so look at the Dredd miniature first. He's got a little tiny bit of flash, not very much. I can't see any miscasting on him at all. He's got that huge chin that only a mother could love. Let's just have a quick look at that chin. That's a doozy of a chin, though. Okay, so basically he's got his daystick and his lawgiver pistol. A tiny bit of flash there. Now I've seen some reports that people have had problems separating the flash from the actual miniature itself, so you just got to be very careful. I'm going to do that off camera, and I'm going to do it with a pair of snips rather than using my fingernail, which is what I'm doing here. But detail's fantastic. This new resin feels really smooth, and the animation and pose is like it is Dredd. Okay, so that's the foot miniature. And then we have the handlebars for his Lawmaster, complete with brakes. And then his Lawmaster itself is two pieces, and they just go together like that, absolutely perfectly without a problem. And then you just glue the handles in two recesses at the top. Brilliant. And then we have the Dredd model himself. He's actually moulded, so his hands are on the handlebars. And as you can see, just three pieces, very little flash, very little cleanup, and he'll go together really well. What I'm going to do is, once I've finished this bit and looked at the cards, I'll get Dredd cleaned up and assembled. I will pop him on his bike so you can have a look what he looks like. All nice and painted. Well, sorry, not painted. All nice and assembled. Okay, so we get a big Meg card, and an Armory card, and Dredd's card, and his Lawmaster card. Right, so we'll look at them in turn. So the Armory card, the big Meg card, sorry, is drop it. Play on an enemy model within 8 inches of a friendly model. The enemy model must pass a cool test. If they fail, they may not take any actions during their next activation. Okay, so that's basically because Dredd is the voice of the law. And the Armory card is an electronic override, will open any door. And you can use this with Unker down. And then we have Dredd's card. His role is Judge. Allies, Megacity 1, Justice Department, Chief City Def, Judge Anderson, Giant, Hershey, Beanie, Gerhardt, and Decker. His enemies are lawbreakers, and he's got special rules. See page 75 of the rulebook. Drock Miniatures Dredd, Gunfighter, Gaze into the Fist of Dredd, Indestructible, Incredible Shot, and Let's Ride. And his catchphrase slogan there is, I am the law. You know. Okay, so let's have a quick look at his cards. So the stats are in the rulebook, but he's got a move of 6 inches, which is quite standard for the game. He's got a ranged at 5. He's got a melee at 5. He's got this icon, which I can never remember, at 4. He's got a defense armor of 5. I can't remember what these two icons are, but they're both 4 and 5, and he's got a star or notoriety of 35. And his weapons are his Mark II long lug of a pistol, same as all the judges, his day stick, and a boot knife. Basically exactly the same as the regular judges apart from his stats, and the fact that there is 35 notoriety. And he's got his Lawmaster. Special rules, it's got an AI, it can carry 2 passengers, it's a vehicle, and it can actually use the knock rule, which is, sorry, it cannot use the knock rule when you board a Lawmaster. Yeah, if you can't select a Lawmaster unless you actually select a judge to ride it, so you can't just ban the Lawmaster on its own. And it's got a move of 14, which is very fast. Range of 3, a melee of 4 because it can run people over, armor of 5. I still don't know what those two are. I will find out in a moment. And it's a notoriety of 21. It's got a Cyclops laser, and a bike cannon. And obviously, because it's got an AI, it can act on its own, it can act independently. So I'm just going to pause for a second. I'm going to assemble these very quickly, and then we can have a quick look at them. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. So that's the 2 models quickly assembled. I've only just lightly tacked the Lawmaster together with super glue, and I haven't positioned the handlebars in the correct place because I really want to make sure that I can clean the thing up first. This is the only bit that's a little bit tricky on the entire model. One thing that I did notice, which is worth mentioning, is I'm just going to take these off because I don't want them to actually stick in place until I actually clean the model up. It goes together quite well at the front, without really a problem, but it's when we look at the back, there's a really big gap on the seam. So it could be me being a little bit careless and actually assembling it incorrectly. It just needs a little bit of putty, a little bit of milliput, a little bit of filler, and it'll be fine. And of course there's Dredd himself on his wee base. Okay, so that's a quick look at the Dredd miniature for the Judge Dredd Miniature Game from Warlord Games. Really nice model. The Lawmaster's quite nice. I do like it. I can understand exactly why they've done the handlebars separately. And to say they've made it of resin, they've actually turned out quite well for a resin cast. They're not bent, which does happen quite a lot with straight pieces of resin, like spears and guns and that kind of stuff, and swords. So all in all, quite nice wee kit. My full review of the miniature and my thoughts and stuff will be in over on Gamers Web. I'm just going to try and get these up as quickly as possible so people can actually see the miniatures and see what the models look like. We'll be doing a painting guide on how to paint your Lawmasters, as well as the painting guide on how to paint Judges, and hopefully should see you very shortly in our next video, which will be covering the Street Judges. Once again, I've been Mark, and thank you for tuning in and visiting Gamers Web. It means a lot to us, and hopefully we shall see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.